Josh is an 8th grader on the basketball team this year, and he's going to share with us the digital card that they put together for Mr. Merritt.
I was very lucky to have Mr. Merritt for a year as a student and 2 years as a player for him. Thank you for all the time you have invested in our children. We are so grateful for the lifelong impact you have made. Words can never express our gratitude. Much love, Ms. Haynes. All the players. Thank you for the great season and being a great coach. We will all miss you next year and hope to see you cheering on us in turning time. Mike and Kennedy. Congratulations on your retirement. Emma was honored to have the opportunity to play for you. Congratulations on your retirement. Thank you for being an awesome coach. Cam was honored to have played for you for the past 2 years. Thank you for such an amazing season, Mr. Merritt. You are one of a kind, and Chase was honored to be part of your team. Enjoy your retirement. Thank you so much. Such a positive role model for these young men. Ty had such a wonderful time having you as a coach, and you really thrived with your expectations and guidance. Congratulations on your retirement. Coach Merritt, playing for you this year was the best. I learned a lot from you. Thank you for always encouraging me. Love KL. Thank you for the best year of basketball of my life. Happy retirement. Right after we won it. Thanks for being such a great coach and a mentor. I was lucky to have you as a teacher too. Congratulations on your retirement. As you can see, you touch all of us in ways we can't even explain. I hope you always smile big when you reflect on your time at Holbrook Middle School. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Josh. Now I'd like to have Mr. Mowbray come down, and he's going to read a little letter from Mr. Ralph Russell, who started as principal here, we figured out, in 1968, and retired in 2004. So he's going to read a letter since Mr. Russell can't be here himself today.
Thank you. So, some of you probably don't know, and lots of you probably do, but I had the great fortune and the pleasure and the honor of being the principal here at the Holbrook School for about 12 years. My intention coming here was to try to have a positive impact on this community. I hope I lived up to my own expectations and all that. I had a great experience here. I found myself being, really working hard to be dedicated to this place, be committed, and working hard. But there were a couple of guys, and there were probably many, many others, but there were a couple of guys I knew right off the bat, very shortly after being here, that no matter how much Holbrook red I could bleed, I could not. I could not reach anywhere near a couple of guys that I learned real quick. And one of those is a gentleman that I referred to in an assembly, unbeknownst to him, by the way. I refer to him as the godfather of Holbrook basketball. And that person would be Mr. Bob Merritt. And the other gentleman, if you've ever met him, I learned real quickly also. Not going to match the dedication that this guy gave Holbrook for over 35 years, and that would be the gentleman who this gym is named after, and that's Mr. Ralph Russell. So, Mr. Russell is spending his time in Florida, and I'm going to work pretty hard to get through something that Mr. Russell has written for Mr. Merritt, so bear with me. I'm honored to recognize Mr. Merritt for his service to the Holbrook School. He came to Holbrook from the University of Maine as a student teacher under the supervision of Mr. Stinchfield, grade 8 physical science. After the successful completion of his internship, he came to school every day in case the school needed a substitute. I used to joke with him as the kid who wouldn't go home. And thank God he didn't. In addition to assisting with the boys' basketball team, he was available to take a long-term substitute position in grade 5. I'm sure his dad was very glad to see his son have a little income instead of doing all that charity work. The following year, Mr. Randall, 7th grade social studies teacher and boys basketball coach, took a position in East Corinth, opening a possible teaching and coaching position for Mr. Merritt. He wasted little time in putting together a resume. This was the school of his choice, the school where he wanted to be with the kids he wanted to teach. Holbrook recognized the diamond in the rough as attested by Mr. Merritt becoming the newest staff member and coach at Holbrook. He wasted no time in polishing up the edges through study, preparation, and determination to be the best he could be. There were certainly no disappointments. He represented his school well in the classroom, in the community, and on the basketball court. Sportsmanship was more important than winning, and his players met those expectations. The coach also knew that winning was more fun than losing, and win they did. Mr. Merritt has the most basketball victories in Holbrook school history, probably also the coach with the most basketball wins in the PBML. Strong coaching skills, player talent, and 40 years helped to accomplish all those wins. Congratulations. I remember a couple of your exciting games well. One being with 2 seconds left on the time clock, the inbound pass and the turnaround jumper by your own Charlie for the 1-point victory over Center Drive. That team went on to win the league championship that year. The other game found arch rival Herman trouncing Holbrook by 17 points in the third period of the PBML finals. However, with tight man-to-man defense, boxing out rebounds, and a great fast break, Holbrook won by 15 to 16 points at the final buzzer. Definitely the biggest come-from-behind victory by any Holbrook team and any team in PBML championship history. Kudos to the 1998 boys varsity basketball champions. Thank you for all the wonderful memories. The recognition being bestowed upon you today isn't only because you deserve it. You earned it through hard work and dedication to excellence, for the love you bestowed upon your students, community, basketball players, and for the love and pride you have for the Holbrook School. I know your wife, affectionately referred to as the Queen, and your son Charlie are most proud. I bet you're wishing your mom and dad could have been here to celebrate this most joyous occasion with you. I certainly wish I could have been present. Again, congratulations. Thank you for 40 awesome years, and enjoy your retirement, Mr. Ralph Russell.
Thank you very much, Mr. Modry. I'd like to invite up Mr. Charlie Merritt now.
All right.
He has a few words in his
All right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm Charlie, Bob's son. Proud member of the 04 PVL champions. So I'm here to share the court dedication to my father. It takes some pretty incredible stats to get your name forever painted on the court, the legendary Ralph G. Russell Gymnasium. 40 years of coaching basketball, and not just in this gym. PAL, Pee-wees, AAU, travel teams, Holbrook Rec Board, and more. I tried to look up the exact stats, but I think you were the only one that knew those exact numbers. But it's incredible how many different lives you've touched by being the coach. If I run into old Holbrook Devils, we quickly reminisce about our days playing middle school basketball. After 40 years, you can talk to a kid and their parent at the same time about Coach Merritt. We all remember the patented plays, Husson, Brown, 32, Saturday practices with the music blaring, and of course the clipboard close to the chest. Those little scribbled notes will be mentioned at halftime. We even made a highlights tape for the banquet, a middle school highlights tape. The Queen plates, the incredible lineup of overqualified assistant coaches, and so much more. All of these things were never taken for granted, and they made Holbrook basketball so special. Most importantly, you instilled values and molded your players. Sportsmanship, academics, strategy, and of course, how to win. We certainly took it pretty seriously. Some of my fondest memories as a player and as a son is our Friday night spent strategizing player minutes and matchups for Pee-wee games. When I call home today, one of the first things we discuss is the Holbrook Devils. You eat, breathe, and sleep Holbrook b-ball. There are a lot of things that change, but Coach Merritt, you've been an incredible constant. Any kid that went through Holbrook was better for it. That type of longevity and commitment deserves reward. I know that you're a little emotional when you turn the lights off for your last practice, but now Coach Merritt will forever be on the floor. Congratulations. I'm proud to call you my father and my coach. Let's go.
There's an old show that the adults in the room know the show. It's called Seinfeld. And there's an episode where they talk about the summer of George. And this school year for me has been the school year of Bob. It's very celebratory. People come up to me and they say, "Oh, this is your last school picture day. This is your last home game. This is your last tournament game." And it has it has a very nice feel to it. And apparently people don't coach middle school basketball for 40 years. And I think there's probably two big reasons for that. One, when their child is going through, they might do it for those couple of years, and that's good. That's enough of that. That's enough long bus rides. Or two, it's a stepping stone along the way. They aspire to coach at a higher level, high school, college. The great Kissy Walker, if you don't know that name, Kissy is the head women's basketball coach at Husson University. She coached here first. She went direct. I think she's the only person I know that's ever gone from middle school coaching directly to university level coaching. And he mentioned one of our plays. We still run plays that she taught me when she was here. But I stayed. I didn't climb the ladder, and I was so supported here. I mean, Ralph G. Russell has been mentioned a lot. He's the one that taught me true dedication to, to Holbrook School. And he's in his 80s, and if I don't call him after every game, he calls me. But I've been so supported all along the way. The first two coaches, Mr. Randall and Mr. Watson, helped me get started. And then I did about 10 years by myself. And then Doug Timms came in and did 17 seasons with me. He knows how to win. And Jimmy Williams did a few years with me. And even with his Yankee gear on, we still let it. And then the last 10, a lot of people in this room, my dear, dear friend, Tommy Smith has been a godsend. But Mr. Meyer was nice enough, Principal Meyer, and the other people that have spoken today, they mentioned the Queen. And for me to be over here 6 days a week for the school year and 7 days a week during basketball, it's with her blessing. But I've got an awful lot of support right in front of me right now, and I certainly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Charlie, thank you very much for coming up here and doing that dedication. We appreciate it. Are there any former players, students, people that came to join us today that would like to? We have about 5 minutes. If anybody wants to come up and say anything? Share anything? No? Mr. O'Connell, come on up.
So Coach Merritt still films my football games on Friday and Saturday. He just said, "You sure you don't want me to film it?" Those of you that don't know me, my name is Dan O'Connell. I am the athletic director at John Bass in Bangor. For the kids in the stands, I got to see you earlier this year. I hope everything's going well. To those in attendance, and especially to Coach Merritt, most of you know that if I get a chance to talk and there's a microphone, I'm going to take that opportunity, so here I am. When the Queen invited me to come to this great occasion, I was not only humbled, but I was flattered. And please report to the principal's office for the phone in the school. I was humbled and honored for 3 reasons. First, before I was the celebrated and dashing athletic administrator that I am now, 20 years ago I was a coach that was just starting out at John Bass, and a couple years into my career I met the Merritt family. And for so many reasons that I could talk about for a lot longer than 5 minutes, they became dear friends to me. And I don't know a family that is more dedicated to that word. They were dedicated to our family at John Bass. They were dedicated to each other and continue to be. They were dedicated to Holbrook School, but more than anything, they were dedicated to anybody they cared about. And that certainly started with Bob and Peggy, and it carries on with Charlie now. and it's one of the major cornerstones of my program, and I learned a lot of that from you guys, so thank you. The next thing that I learned from Bob was preparation. Nobody that I know is more prepared to compete than this man. And I say that tongue in cheek a little bit because he already mentioned people don't stay at the middle school level for 40 years. He will be humble and he will deny this. But you could have coached anywhere, and you would have been just as successful in large part because of your preparation. I still think back to Football 101 at John Bass, this foolish class that we taught for people that didn't know football. And guess who was sitting right in the front row with the same clipboard asking questions? Every time we had it. Oftentimes I think we should go back to it. But it was great because he was there and he was committed. His players, his son, joke around about the clipboard. We talk every football game before he films it, comes on the field, and he asks me for the scouting report because he wants to know he truly cares. And then lastly, and more than anything, one of the greatest things I learned from Coach Merritt as a role model is the way he treats young men and women. Whether it was his classroom or his second classroom, the basketball gymnasium, he didn't always know how he was going to get his students that day and what shape they would be in, but he always sent them away better. He does the same thing in life. He does the same thing in life with his friends. There's nobody who cares more when they ask. A lot of people say, "How you doing?" He means it. And he's not very quick to tell you about what's going on in his life unless you ask, but he's always there to listen. There's not a more humble, family, prepared, great coach that I know anymore than Bob Merritt. And I've been blessed to be mentored by him, lectured at times by him, and more than importantly, I've been very lucky to call him and his family my friend. Thanks, Coach.
We would like to thank all of our guests who came today to honor Mr. Merritt as he gets ready to end the year and go into his retirement years. Mrs. Merritt has bought there's some cake for our guests who've come in to join us in the cafeteria with some refreshments. So we invite all of our guests who came in today to go in there and mingle with Mr. Merritt. You don't have to go back to class. You're free. But again, thank you very much as you came here to honor Mr. Merritt today. We appreciate it. So why don't we let our guests go first if they want to go into the